Don't worry, it's not gonna turn into like a full-on lecture, just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. We're gonna start with AI then. We're just gonna... Vaush is reacting to a Twitter thread in the video. This is the Twitter thread we're gonna be reacting to. Maybe you've seen it, perhaps? Peut-être. This is so bad. Anyway, this is going to be covered... This thumbnail is horrifying. This is going to be covered here. Let's go. Ah, yes. The Mona Lisa, indeed. Didn't you know? Didn't you know that this is definitely the rest of the Mona Lisa? Like, in my mind, it was always so clear that she was on a little balcony, by the way. Mona Lisa looks like she's rising from hell in this image. She just doesn't even have a lower body or anything. It doesn't make sense on any level. It's like, oh wow, okay, you kind of replicated the general style of the painting. I guess that's a proof of concept, but like, why make this? Especially the way they frame this. We're gonna get into that anyway in the video as well. But ever wonder what the rest of the Mona Lisa looks like? As if, like, definitively, this is the rest of the Mona Lisa. This means not like... They could frame things so differently. I saw a different tweet about that too recently, where somebody was saying, "Oh, the AI bros are so sad. Why are you so mean to us?" Meanwhile, the AI bros, "You are going to be replaced by a machine now, quicker, faster than ever. You should be scared." That's all of their tweets. They always phrase their tweets like this, like they are on the side of objective facts, and they're always on the offensive. And then they're like, "Why are you mean to me? Why are you so mean to me? What the fuck?" The people praising this stuff are the people who don't know much about art. That's very true. Because no, we'll get into it because I want to argument alongside my favorite streamer man.
I hate these, Lamau. Yeah, I don't really...
Yeah, that's what I said at the time when I was live reacting to that. I love how that's the first sentence that's in there. I feel like my words were just reflected right back at me again. I do hate these, Lamau. That's very true. I hate these, Lamau. That's what I wrote. I know. I'm gonna say even more shit about it now. Many very, very famous artworks have been expanded and completely butchered by this AI thing. Of course, they didn't
have
change
anything novel or innovative to say when it comes to this. Just, it's pretty incredible how, like, the AI art people have no understanding of art, and they demonstrate it time and time again.
True. And now, this is pre-watched, so I know what he's gonna say, but, like, composition, Doko? Where's composition? Where's composition?
STEM majors faking it being art majors.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think it's because, like, stem cells see thing at art chads, like, literally.
Real, they just want to be us.
The funny thing is, the way they present it.
God, I just regurgitate his arguments,
look,
don't I?
AI can extrapolate from an image to what a larger image of it would look like.
Hello,
that
Ruslan,
would be,
welcome.
Like, fine.
AI artists. I'm more excited for AI companions with very humanistic personality traits. Some people are looking for that. Yeah, the entire family is bugs. I don't think I know that show personally. Yeah, I don't know. I just never had like the impulse to have anything like that. Like, also a lot of people use ChatGPT to just chat. When my uncle came over, he talked about it, that he kind of liked how humanoid it was talking to you. Personally, I love the very cold, dead, doesn't try to be nice to me sort of facts of Google. I'm totally fine with that. If I Google something, I don't need to be like, "Hey, how are you? Could you tell me this and that?" And they're like, "No problem. Here you go. That's your information." I would just like to search up, I don't know, whatever I need to know. Like, doctor near me, and they just give me a link for doctor near me. I don't really need the, like, pleasantries attached, but I don't know if that's just a personal vibe. ChatGPT has been nerfed into oblivion, though. Oh, has it? Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. ChatGPT is more of a tool, but Pygmalion and whatever C AI uses is where the humanistic chat agents are at right now. See, I have no idea about any of that. Pygmalion is a good name for it, though. Pygmalion is a good name for it. Does that one fall in love with you? You know, Pygmalion is like the myth of the sculptor, right? Or the painter. I think he's a sculptor usually, who fell in love with his own sculpture, and then she came to life.
Because that is what it's doing.
That's
but
what
then they're
happens
like,
sometimes.
wonder what the rest of it looks like. That's not the rest of
Your
it.
dad
That's not
uses
real.
AI. Yeah, a lot of people do.
Here's what the backgrounds of the most famous paintings in the world look like with AI. Like they don't they have to present it as it's like replacing art rather than saying, oh, here's a cool, like, interesting, neat little thing.
True. It's honestly very, very bad for their optics. Just like that. Yeah, Pygmalion is open source version that falls in love and does a lot of naughty. That's good naming. Good naming. I do appreciate that. But that's about it.
Like,
I personally don't need that.
Dude, bro,
it just falls apart. You can see how, like, the whole structure of everything falls apart immediately outside of the original.
What if your famous painters had a worse composition?
Oh god, that one.
I like this one especially because it's so bad. Where they just
the fucking foreground gets, like, nuked into oblivion all of the time. It's nothing.
Like the perspective, like, runs out, like, right in the center. Everything around the frame of the image is just, like, meaningless noise.
Oh, that one. That one's I don't know. Dude, if I had to pick a worst one, it's hard to pick a worst one. This one may be the worst one.
Oh my god. No.
It just doesn't look right, you know? Composition is a very important part of art, right? Like how you frame something. I'm pretty sure he gets into this right now in, like, a literal second, so we'll get to that. And also, aside from that, you can tell, like, the brush strokes and all of that stuff looking weird. It's almost impressive how much space the AI has without giving anything interesting. Yeah, it would have to come up with something unique. And when it does try to do that, I don't have to move out of the way. When it does try to, like, give us some more input, it doesn't work out so well. It feels very off. And the original one already had kind of like an emptiness vibe. But with the AI extension, it just kind of falls apart.
No, I think this one might be my favorite. Especially, like, look at this eldritch creature over here behind the bar with, like, the...
What if we do a blind test, AI art versus human art, but the pieces are chosen at random? I don't think I could reliably tell, but that sounds fun. One time, actually, I've done something similar like that before. I think that was before AI art was a thing. It was like, is it modern art or is it made by a toddler? Which, you know, I see the angle going there. I had a pretty good hit rate on that one, but I don't know if I could have a pretty good hit rate on AI art versus human art. Depends which types of art they compare, I guess, because AI art can mimic a lot of things, and depending on what it's been taught, it can mimic a lot of stuff pretty good too. I've seen better AI art than, you know, whatever the fuck's going on to the right of this one.
It's more complicated than that. I'm not an art major, but it's when I say the composition is, what I mean is, like, the original image here.
Oh yeah, we were talking composition. Composition is basically ground level of how you want to build your image, obviously. The expansion isn't the worst, I guess. Like, it makes sense and everything, but it just is, first of all, extremely unnecessary. Obviously, this is just supposed to be a proof of concept, but they didn't frame it like that, which makes it a little bit egregious. And second of all, you know, it does fall apart in certain areas, and it's just unnecessary, of course. Also, yeah, AI anime art, I feel like I kind of have, like, a vibe for spotting it. If it looks too boring, if it looks too boringly perfect in certain areas, and if the lighting hits a certain type of way, I'm like, okay, that's probably AI.
The original famous painting, it's very well composed to look good at its, like, existing borders, you know? Like, if you look at it, there we go. Wow. Dude, isn't that, like, immediately way better? It's not a perfect crop. There we go. That's, like, this is kind of close. Like, wow, holy shit, you know? It's like
odd, huh?
It's like an artist painted this. If you know, maybe.
You would be surprised.
But then you scroll, and it's like, oh, well, now there's just, like, a bunch of meaningless bullshit around it.
I have something. I have some receipts to pull up later, but he's not at the point yet where I want to pull up some extra receipts. I prepared so hard for this, but we'll get to it. Anime AI all looks homogenous. Yeah, 100%. It looks very much like this Genshin Impact 3 times recycled type style. This is very much similar looking. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this one's really bad.
Yeah, I really hate this one. That's such a... the mass of people, they just look so scattered about, while the original looks so clear. It's so different, Jesus Christ. This one,
okay,
this one absolutely kills me. This one absolutely killed me. You know, they should just take Rothko art and expand that one with AI. Please, why would you do this one? Like, have we gone too far? Have we gone? Yes. Can we please go back? This kills me so hard. Like, stop. Okay, just stop.
Use this.
Also, what the fuck is happening over here? Why did that happen? There's no such thing. It's very clear colors. Jesus fucking Christ. Also, where did this color come from? Huh? This is so fucking silly, dude.
Be funny.
The AI knows where I live.
Oh, I saw this too. Yeah,
That is
somebody
scary.
used AI art to quote unquote fix the Tears of the Kingdom.
I love the Tears of the Kingdom
cover.
art, like the actual one,
To make
obviously.
it look like
Generic slop,
I
yeah.
don't know, just any other game. I don't know. I could see these as cool ass horror games.
Yeah, in a horror sense. Oh god, I wanted to mention that last time already. I mean last time as in on stream, but I forgot again that I wanted to look that up. There's like this horror AI character. I don't know, that was going around a while ago. I think she was a result of Mid-Journey or something and non-stable diffusion. I don't know any of these terms. But like, wasn't her name like Loeb or something like that? Okay, yeah, I think it was Loeb. Wait, I can Google this. I think that was her name. Loeb AI woman art. Okay, wait, actually some of these images are really bad, so I'm a Google with caution. I remember that some people who talked about her, this is pretty scary, but I can show it on YouTube, but like, it looks pretty fucked, so warning, fucked image on screen, like now. This is Loeb, and I like it for like the uncanniness of it all. That's kind of funny, but also what the fuck is that? That one is the Joker. Why is there the Joker? Anyway, the Loeb thing I found kind of interesting. I still prefer, I would still prefer to have somebody draw this, like by hand, but also, I think that's pretty interesting. What the? Did you hear about Loeb? That's Loeb. I'm not gonna get all the way into it because it's been a while since Loeb was like a thing, but she kept coming up when this one artist kept putting certain inputs in. There was a lot of like flesh children. It was pretty weird. Anyway, we're moving away from Loeb again in case you don't want to see Loeb. Understandable.
Unironically, I think one of the best uses that you could get
Horror,
out of
yes.
AI art would
AI
be
horror
an
would be fun.
iterative design for monsters and surreal scenery. Use algorithms that are used
Like
for
for a
AI
video
art
game.
and machine learning, except do it to like have a surreal, nightmarish collage painted onto like a skybox or something like. I'm just spitballing here, but
I like the idea. I think one of those games, they adjusted the monster based on how you answered the questions or something like that. I think it was Until Dawn that did that? Something like that, right? Until Dawn or something of the sort adjusted the monster based on your psychology. And I think they could do that even better with AI because AI learning could learn from your reaction to certain things. Maybe a little bit better. How to create the perfect horror for you, like how long you look at what, that sort of thing. I feel like they could actually utilize that, and I wouldn't be mad about that. I would not be mad about that.
You know, you could do a lot with like procedural, iterative stuff. I think. I don't know how exactly that would be handled if you had to do like live.
I'm not an engineer. I am not a AI engineer either, so I wouldn't know.
Updates, but it could be interesting.
Oh, I hate that one so much.
Oh, that's bad. Holy shit, the perspective. It's over. It's over.
It's
dog.
so Jover, brother. This room doesn't even ouch. This gives me so much damage. This gives me so much psychic damage. This image really like no, I can't. Please put it away.
Done.
This one's painful.
This really is just art illiteracy on a cultural scale. Yeah,
It's
I've
a
always
problem.
felt like art illiteracy is actually like a huge social problem.
I agree very much with that. I just hope we can get AGI and Android servants in the future. What a world. I mean, ideally AI, etc. and stuff like that would take those jobs that humans don't want to do and make us be able to live a more comfortable life. But I don't know how that'll go, you know? Even I can do better perspective. Like, I think the perspective is a little wonky, but like on purpose in the original frame, and the AI didn't know how to extrapolate from that, and then it just kind of like fell apart. Looks like your apartment. Hell yeah, Alexei, let's go. Now, I mean, I think the original room was much smaller than the room that AI made it into, so At least you got a bigger room than the original, I think. But I like it better when it's a little bit smaller. No, but I agree. Art literacy is a very good skill to have. Any type of literacy, media literacy in general, is a very important skill to have. I mean, we see it all the time when people are like, oh my god, Patrick Bateman is literally me. That's art too. Movies are art, right? So if you can't understand art, that says something about society, doesn't it? That we just have lost our media literacy somewhere along the way, if we ever had it, right? The bed and the door, like, next to each other, they look so off scale wise. I don't know what's going on here, and I will not try to figure it out.
It's not just people being annoying on social media. A fundamental inability to understand art and human experience and human communication actually, like, wraps into other stuff.
From cute little room to infinite liminal space. Real. It is liminal. Especially the stupid foregrounds that the AI always makes. Because obviously, in the composition, you are already, the artist's gonna have put something in the foreground or not, whatever they want to do, but like they're not gonna have a huge empty space at the front. But AI art doesn't know what to put, so it put nothing and a little table. Do not forget the yellow little table. It's not nothing, it's just mostly nothing, actually.
Which is why you don't normally see people who promote AI art in this way also being normal guys. They're all like blue checkmark lunatic, like crypto grifter, like tech psychos. It feeds into itself.
Fucking Vaush.
Okay, this one in particular is really offensive to me because I really like Ike, and I learned about this painting a lot in my art history class.
Art history, let's go, represent. I'm not the biggest fan of this era of art, but yeah, I mean, it's obviously much better than what the AI extrapolated from it, and it's good skill and everything. I mean, I may be more fond of expressionism myself, but that is fine. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I mean, everything, especially in paintings like these. Now, we didn't cover that painting in specific, or if we did, I forgot. But every single thing that's in this painting has meaning. It's there for a reason, usually. And the AI just adds more noise. That's always the thing. Just more noise for you to look at. No meaning. We're getting back to that. I need to see when I can do my little interjection, but we'll figure it out.
Jesus Christ.
This one's something.
The reason I'm going over this is just because,
This one too. God, this one is. I say that about every single one of them. They're all very offensive to me. I don't like any of them.
Another.
They hurt me. They pain me to look at. Like, why would you even? These all make sense. This statue devolves into nothing. This statue has symbolism. That's a carrot. Is that a cherub? I think that's a cherub. That has symbolism. Fuck you. It's just more noise.
It's just yet another, like, I don't know.
This one too.
Reminder of the artistic illiteracy of people who champion this technology. That's the Arnold Feeney portrait, right? Yep. I saw a tweet that I really liked, which was, imagine if the AI art, look at the full painting and it revealed like a larger, more powerful god behind that or something. Like, yeah, we asked AI to expand on this image, and there's like just this giant like head looming right back here.
No, that I could get behind. A little bit of like, cosmic horror, like that type of thing. I could vibe with that. Again, AI is good for horror because it's trying to be human-like, but it's not quite succeeding, so it falls into the uncanny vibe and everything.
It's AI art. So we've used machines and we've used algorithms to enhance our art for a long time. That's not new or anything. It's just it has to be done with human intent, not just like you throw it into a machine learning black box and it just like shits out stuff. Agreed. It has to be meaningful and purposeful. Human intent, that's the critical part right there.
I agree. Human intent is very important. You know who else agrees? Umberto Eco. Do you know who Umberto Eco is? Umberto Eco, by the way, absolute Chad. I don't know an infinite amount of things about him, but I agree. Can I turn him up a little bit? Yeah, he's a little bit quiet, isn't he? Well, yeah, we still have a bunch of video to go. I will do that now unless I forget later. Umberto Eco agrees. Umberto Eco is... Look at all the things that he did. We don't need to get into his whole biography. I don't want to do that, but I need to pull up a PDF that I have. I'm gonna pull up a PDF that I annotated for you. I prepared for this. Because we talked about that in school back in the day. This dude was like everything. He was a medievalist. I don't know what that is. An Italian medievalist, philosopher, semiotician? Yes, novelist, cultural critic, and political and social commentator. He is everything I want to be. He is vibes. It's cutting off the top. This is... Don't worry, it's not gonna turn into like a full-on lecture, just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit, bear with me. Bear with me. Can you see everything that you need to see? No. Can I make it smaller so that you can? Probably. This is Umberto Eco's The Open Work, which is a very important work in art history. I'll let you know, our professors talked about it a lot. Translated version by Anna Canconi, something like that. And I want to show you a couple of passages from this, which I have highlighted beforehand. I have prepared for the stream a lot. This one I have bookmarked as authorial intent versus audience intent. This one is the thing that Vaush was getting at. And that's why I want to talk about it. Can I zoom in, please? So you have an easier time reading this. There you go. Can you read this at all? I mean, I'll read it for you too, so don't worry about it. The highlighting thing makes it actually a little bit harder to read. Also, the text is extremely tiny, so I'll read it for you. Don't worry about it. So, he talks about the open artwork, and he tries to find a definition for that. I could show you that first. Generally, that's what he does. Openness is a criterion of art, is the thesis that is proposed in this section of his work. Open art is defined through interaction with the audience and the artwork, and also ambiguity is very important in that factor. Also, listen. What I have highlighted here. We see it as the end product of an author's effort to arrange a sequence of communicative effects in such a way that each individual addressee can refashion the original composition devised by the author. So that would be the authorial intent, which AI inherently lacks, even though, there's like an input, and I see that, but it never goes as far as complete, like, authorial control that one painter would have over a painting, or a painter in a shop, whatever, in an atelier. In this sense, the author presents a finished product with the intention that his particular composition should be appreciated and received in the same form as he devised it. Now, that is not the entire point. Authorial message by the artist, one side of the coin. Now, the other side of the coin, very important, and only really, in my opinion, and I've written this down too, only really possible when there is an authorial intent. As he reacts to the play of stimuli and his own response to the patterning, and the individual addressee is bound to supply his own existential credentials. So, like, everybody comes to see an artwork, has a backstory, has lived a whole life. This will inform how you see the art. That is true for anything that you see, but it informs your interpretation. The sense conditioning, which is peculiarly, I'm so good at reading, his own. A defined culture, a set of tastes, personal inclinations, and prejudices. Any viewer of the art will bring his own prejudices and biases that shapes his interpretation of the artwork. Thus, his comprehension of the original artifact is always modified by his particular and individual perspective. In fact, the form of the work of art gains its aesthetic validity precisely in proportion to the number of different perspectives from which it can be viewed and understood. This really talks a lot about the person who's at the receiving end of the artwork. Therefore, even with clear authorial intent, every person will have a unique experience with the same piece. And I think what I'm postulating from this text, if you have something that's just created to look pretty by AI standards and has is devoid of messaging, devoid of authorial intent on any level, there's not going to be a wide variety of interpretations that the audience can form, because why would the audience even engage on such a level? They don't want to engage. So basically what Umberto Eco is saying in this sentence is art lives where it is interpreted. I wrote this at the side here too. I wrote this a couple hours ago before my nap. I wrote this before my nap, actually. In AI art, there is no authorial intent, so trying to make inferences on the meaning of the piece is a pointless exercise no one will engage with, rendering AI art dead. I also have another one. I like that I turned this into a full-on lecture, but this is the one thing that I studied, okay? You have to bear with me. You must bear with me. This one juxtaposes traditional art. This one is way later on in the book, but I think it's a very poignant point that you can apply towards AI art. Do you know when this book was written? This book was written in like 1960 or something, so it's very old, but it still holds very true. It was talking about modern art, at the time. So I'm not going to read this entire passage to you, but you can. I hope you can. I can zoom into it enough so that you can definitely read it if you want to pause it or something like that. I made a little note. The note is too small because it scales with my computer screen. So generally, this talks about the juxtaposition between classic forms of art and contemporary forms of art. And Umberto basically tries to express that the degree of novelty is what we're looking for. We're looking for a high degree of novelty if we want to find the art interesting, you know, like a lot of novelty. And of course, AI is new technology, so you might be led to think, oh, that's hella novelty. AI, that's so novel. We didn't have that before. But AI cannot provide any novelty, actually, by definition, because all that AI can do is reproduce things that have already been produced in the past. So that's also what I've written here, but it's actually the absolute lack thereof, because it always strives to be aesthetically pleasing by mashing together various existing works of arts. It is the antithesis, I'm bad at reading, of novelty, is what I think about that. Thank you very much. And I have another one last one. Then I'm done going through my little, this one was that one. Where's the other one? There you go. That is my last little note that I made. I might come back to this at some point. I just found it funny. I don't know. He said he had art history classes, so maybe he read Umberto Eco as well. But like, he basically voiced opinions that I read exactly like that in Umberto Eco before. This is like utility juxtaposed with the appreciation for works of art. You know, a work of art wants to be open and interpretive, while a road sign, on the other hand, which is also a visual thing, you know, you could compare it like at face value with a work of art, you know, okay, it's an image, kind of, it's flat, it tries to signify something, but a road sign is supposed to be clearly unambiguous, while art tends to try to be a little bit more ambiguous, especially modern art and or contemporary art tries to be very ambiguous, must be ambiguous, because otherwise, it's kind of dead, is what I extrapolate from the text. So I hope that explains it a little bit. Thank you very much. We're going to get back to our regularly scheduled program of listening to Vaush now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Like at the end of a PowerPoint in university, you would say, any questions? Thank you. Those were my notes that I took. I just wanted to supplement his points with this because I think it's very cool that Vaush gets the vibe, even though I'm pretty sure he didn't read this entire thing. It's a lot of pages. And it's mostly about poetry. It's not that much about visual art, but you can kind of, you know, it kind of overlaps either way. Yeah. Anyway, Vaush?
Ben Shapiro did a video on AI art.
Oh yeah, Ben Shapiro did a little video. That was cute though. Thank you for the class.
Breaks AI art
of course. I'll try. I'm trying to like figure out what my expertise are and hone in on that a little bit more. And I think art, if anything is my expertise, art is it. So I'm going to give you all the knowledge, all the big knowledge.
Vaush, there's only one person I know who uses AI art, and they're also insufferable in every other way. Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks.
Logical
Vaush
conclusion.
goes full mysticism when it comes to art, lol. No, it's not mysticism. I think that art is about human communication.
Exactly what Umberto Eco said.
Requires intent. Yeah. Otherwise, it's literally just meaningless noise. This isn't about like the magic of whatever else. It's just human communication.
Is he still too quiet? Should I still turn him up a little bit more? Also, somewhere else in the PDF, somewhere else in the book, it talks about that like meaningless noise as well.
Ben Shapiro types better than you? Of course Ben types better.
Oh no! Are we going to get into this or are they gonna cut it out? I've discovered how Vaush types and I'm very confused and sad. How do you get through university if you type like this? Everything must take so long.
Better than me? Everyone types better than me. I'm a terrible typist. I have about the same words per minute on my phone as I do on my keyboard. Because in both cases I just use my thumbs. Well no, I don't use my thumbs on the keyboard. I use my index fingers. But
Only index fingers? I'm sorry, what the fuck is wrong with you? How can you type? How can you type like that? Doesn't everything take forever? Agreed.
Something needs to be human communication for it to be art. When you look up at the moon in the night sky, is it beautiful? Yes, it is. It's gorgeous. But it's not art, and nobody talks about it like it's art. Nope. They say it's beautiful. They say it's...
They say it's when the moon hits your eye, like a big pizza pie. That's amore. Actually, it's not art, but it is love.
But people don't say it's art. Christians
No.
would. The only time I've seen the natural world referred to as art is by people who believe that the universe was created by God and that God made it in his art, his painting, or whatever. So
Agreed.
outside a metaphysical belief that everything you're looking at was created by God in an act of communication with man, people don't call the moon art. They just say it's pretty.
Or when the moon hits your eye.
Mountain ranges, the sunrise, they're beautiful, but they're not art. A photo of the moon can be art. A
Real.
photo of the sunrise can be art. That's the point of photography, right? But that's because a human chose to take that photo. There is a message. There is a narrative.
It all comes back to the authorial intent that we've talked about, and the interpretation of the viewer, of course.
There's a story in the photo that was taken. You know,
The conversation between author and recipient.
there are many, many beautiful photos of sunsets, but sometimes, if you look in the right places, I find the most interesting thing about a photo of a sunrise isn't the photo itself, it's the text underneath it. I remember this one. I saw this...
When it's real foggy, I like saying, wow, God forgot to paint in the background. That's cute. That's
I
cute.
saw this in a museum once.
When it's real foggy, I like to say, wow, this is just like Silent Hill, which is a very original thought, and I'm the first one to have ever said it, and the last person to have ever said it. Actually.
It was a beautiful photo of a sunrise. I think it was from Yosemite Park, which is in California. Gorgeous national park. And it was a beautiful photo. And there was a text blurb underneath that described, you know, well, what did the photographer have to do to get that photo? The photographer had to climb. Yosemite Park's full of mountains. He had to hike for a day and a half, sleep on a mountainside, and hike up there, wait, set the camera up, get everything perfect conditions, and took the photo. And I thought, right, why would a person do that? The sunrise is a literal universal phenomena. Everyone's seen the sunrise, even from high up. Why would you suffer that much for a photo that everyone has taken? But now that I'm older, I understand.
That's actually also something that is talked about in contemporary art and modern art as well, that the process of the art creation is incorporated in the artwork. The artwork has changed since, you know, way back in the day. The artwork was very much just what you see is what you get sort of thing. But things have changed ever since the invention of photography. You know, that changed a lot in the art world around that time. The process that is behind making the artwork has almost become as important as the artwork itself in certain, like, art cultures. Not cultures, you know, like in certain art spaces, I guess, in the modern art spaces.
Because climbing to that mountain, taking that photo, it's part of the story of the creation of that photo. It's an experience the artist had that we get to feel a fragment of when we read that text, look at that image. It's not just about the pixels of the print of the photo. You could get that anywhere. Rather, it's about the feelings you have when you think about these things. Interestingly, I think the most interesting experience that I had with that piece of art was me questioning whether or not it was even valuable. Eventually, I arrived at the answer, yes, it is, but it took me a while to, and that was the engagement. That was the experience. Again, if AI art does something, all I can do is look at it and go, oh, AI art did that. There's
real and based and true and very art history educated. Super art history educated. That's why I love that so much. Honestly, I just want to show off. Like, look, my streamer is so smart.
no story there. Somebody made a machine learning algorithm, and it just did the thing. There's no... So AI art isn't art, but a photo of AI art is art?
Yes.
Actually, yes.
Yes.
That could 100% be the... Sometimes I
Right
accidentally
now,
take
at
photos
least.
on my phone. Do you consider that as art? I understand some of you feel like you're being smart, and maybe some of you aren't trying to be annoying, but you are unintentionally. But this is like asking me what the boundaries of communication are. And I say it's about humans trying to convey ideas to another, and you're like, so is me moving my foot while sleeping communication? Because I'm trying to convey the sensory experience of me wanting to... Shut the fuck up. You're tedious. There's no hard
streamer
line.
is so
There's
nice
no
to
boundary.
chat.
I'm talking about general ideas.
No, it's true though.
Well, you are clearly making a hard line, so no, I'm not. Even some chuds I know are saying AI art is dangerous for art. I don't think AI art itself is. It's the people who don't understand what I'm saying now that are.
I think so too. I mean, that's the same people who would say like, "Oh no, here, what photography killed painting." Wait, but they're still painting though. Like, obviously, this is a new era, I guess, and you have to utilize new technology and all of that, or like digital art killed painting. Everything, every innovation of art kills all of it that comes before. But for some reason, we still have new stuff of like old techniques and all of that sort of stuff. So I love Vaush's chat sometimes. I love them often. Oftentimes I love them very much. Oftentimes I hate them very much too. Spicy.
But like I've said, art illiteracy is a broad social problem.
It's a problem.
It's
It is a problem.
minor
I agree.
thing, I don't think.
My streamer is so based. I agree so much. Also, the thumbnail was clickbait. The thumbnail didn't even show up. The thumbnail was a horribly constructed like AI image of Vaush's stream. Didn't show up. He covered that in a different stream. But okay. Clickbait? I got clickbaited. Oh my god, that's my stream. God, that means we have to talk about Germany now.